तेरी मेहर दा बोलना तुद आगे अरदास गुरु गुरु वाहे गुरु गुरु रामदास आद गुरे नमः जुगाद गुरे नमः सत गुरे नमः श्री गुरुदेव नमः। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Today we have gathered together in the Gurudwara, gate of the Guru. Dwara means the gate. Guru Dwara. Guru means where darkness leaves you and light comes. In the Sikh Dharma there is one fundamental character, and that is that identity of the Sikh is not hidden. Identity of the Sikh is not subject to logic, reason, or circumstances or argument, fear, vengeance, or death. This part is not understood. Sikh identity is not Sikh identity. Sikh identity is his reality, and that reality cannot be subjected to any fear, any threat, any misappropriation of self-esteem or funds. Sikh does not have the problem with the fact that there are weaknesses. Sikh acknowledge the weaknesses and leave it unto God to take care of them and proceeds on the job. That's the difference between a Sikh way of life and any other way of life. We acknowledge we have weaknesses, but we don't have time to waste on our personal weaknesses. We are here to identify ourselves and serve and uplift those who are in need of us. That is seva. This is the character of the Sikh. The character of Sikh has a bigger identity, bigger reality, bigger personality, and bigger confirmation to the fact that he is here by the will of God. In God he dwells, in God he trusts, to God he is responsible, to God he serves. He acknowledges or she acknowledges that this universe is that of God, and existence in this universe is by the pure, honest, truthful will of God. And this will is what it means, Ad Sach, Jugad Sach, Hai bhi Sach, Nanak Hosi bhi Sach. This will was true in the beginning, it is true through the time, it is true now, and Nanak, true it shall be. And जब लग खालसा रहे न्यारा तब लग तेज द्यूं मैं सारा जबे भय विपन्न की रीत तौ न करो इनकी प्रतीत. Then Guru says, when you become that exclusive will of the God, then all brightness and light will come to you. Then you will never have to worry about it. And in case if you follow the commoner's law, then you will have one thing, not satisfaction. You shall have no satisfaction. And you can be rich, you can be powerful, you can be healthy, you can be anything on this planet. If you are not satisfied, contented, your life will be nothing but a living misery. To save the mankind from this misery, the Panth Khalsa was ordained. Is the ordained path. It does not have any duality, and it has only not any personality, not it has any reality. Its reality is only in one thing, the totality of God. Akal Murat Ajuni Saibhang. I am not coming through death and birth. I am not thapya na ja kita na hoye, ape aap narinjan soye. You cannot establish it and you cannot get established. It is by itself. Saibhang means this impulse is by itself. It's an awakened impulse in a human where he decides that I am for the Guru. Such a person who makes this mental personal decision, I am for the Guru, then God makes the decision, I am for that person. And that faculty is true. That faculty is a reality. That is the power which gives a person conquering self on the death, conquering self on the vengeance, conquering self on the negativity. That gives the fateh, the victory in every aspect of life. That's the beauty of a Sikh. And it is something to learn. It is something to be, not to be, not to be. There's no discussion about it. The faculty of Sikh has to grow to that unlimited self. When I see people talking, oh, I have a mental block, I have a personal block, I have this block, I have that block. They are blocks. We should make these blocks, put a cement, make a wall, and make the second story of the Langar Hall with these people. They don't deserve to be humans. This is the lowest grade, worse than animal, that of a human who discusses his blocks, yesterday's, today's, tomorrow. This faculty of the universe does not allow a person to be so poor mentally and spiritually that these blocks can just totally bind him to totally nothing but destruction. Break a block, it will keep two triangles. Is it double good luck? Break a block. Cut a block diagonally, it will end up in two triangles. This means double good luck. Do not block yourself with the block, break the block. I have a block. I have a block that I am very painfully misunderstood. The breaking of the block is I'll walk tall and I'll be understood. It is very painful to see that you love people, you nurture them, you raise them, and then they leave you, they betrayed you. It's a block. It's a hurting situation. One dies, 10 will stand in their path. We'll never be short of people of spirit. There are million blocks. My father did this to me, my mother did this to me. My father did this to me, mother did this to me. Guru Gobind Singh is my father, Mata Sep Deva is my mother. I belong to the Panth Khalsa. I have wherever, Jahan Khalsa Sahib Tanta Rachya Riayat. Wherever the Khalsa is, there is a protection and there is a consolation of the God. Then what blocks have to do with it? I see people crying. I see people imposing situations, mental situation. This is my chair, this is my room, this is my house, this is my bank account, this is my child, this is my money. I'm yet to live to see. Perhaps that's when I am going away. I want to see somebody say, this is Guru's child given to me, this is gift of God to me, this belongs to Vaheguru. There's nothing like that. The language is not there. There's not even a language. Forget about reality, there's no formality. Reality is a big deal. Living reality is a further big deal. I asked somebody today, where is so and so? Khalsa ji, he has gone and cycling. Now, can you believe this Sikh? He couldn't go to the Gurdwara today, he went cycling. What a cursed man that will be. That today was one day he could have come to Sangat, sit with Sangat, meet with Sangat, touch the dust of the Sangat, purify his karma. Chakar Chakravarti, Chakar Chakra Pukte. Today his cycle was the universe, spiritual cycle of the infinity of God. Instead of that, that man got himself on $100 bicycle and he's going cycling. The day which is a day for the Guru, that day, his day is a cycling day. Aren't these people are cursed by self-evolution, by self-realization? Today you cannot meet your own spirit. How can you meet God who gave you the spirit? Some people with that day brought a question before me. Every Sunday we do Gurdwara, we put spread the sheet, it's too tiring. I say, you are dead Sikhs and your language is dead. You do not make any sense. You have been against God from time infinite, and you shall continue to insult God from time to time. This is a one realization we ask you to come, to surrender and bow your head to God's will and God's word so that you can feel inspired. And test of this is very simple. I have no obligation in knowing a Sikh. You talk to him 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you will find out what Sikh he is or she is. The language will tell you. The words will tell you. You don't have to ask anybody for the testimony. The very words of the person will tell you where the spirit is. The very strength of the existence of the person will tell you where the existence is. And that will let you know whether this person recognizes the spirit, live by the spirit and deal with the spirit, or this person is just a circumstances yo-yo. This is Gurdwara. This is gate of the Guru. Here we surrender our individuality and realize a reality that we have a totality with God. That's the purpose here. And all those who come from this convention that they are tired, they are not tired, they are dead. They are dying. They are so dead that they can't even pick their physical body and ready come to the court of the Guru to honor their karma, to honor their spirit, to honor their self. They are not tired. They got their life and they lost it. Nobody is here by invitation as a Sikh. Karma in ankre karam. The karma which you earned brought you to the house of the Guru. You can stay, you can leave. You can rise, you can fall. All options are open. Individual has to understand God gave the spirit, and the spirit must have priority over man. Spirit must rule the man. Spirit must be the guidance of the man. not the worldly engagements. Those engagements are there anyway. Those who cannot come to the court of the Guru with honor and grace, with perfection and reality, how they will learn to stand before the court of God when you will drop this body? Will your lipstick save you? Will your mascara save you? Will your powder save you? Will your sex save you? Will your all wet dreams save you? Will the corruption save you? What are you talking about? What will save you there? What cannot save you here, how can it save you there? Today the faculty of man is so poor, everybody needs a psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, and a person who should inspire you. In spite of that, people are depressed. Depression has become the way of life. Why? Because you are not you. You have collected all the past and you read not the Japji. जे जुग चारे आरजा होर दुसुनी हो नवा खंडा में जानिए नाल चले सबको चंगा नाव रखाए के जस की जगले ये तसने तो ना आवी तो बात न पूछेगे. If the whole world is yours and you collect everything and everybody worship you and everybody cares for you, if you do not know you, you are an idiot. Put a monkey on the throne. Throne will run by the regents of the throne. Monkey will remain monkey. He's not going to become saint. Put 100,000 Bibles on donkeys and you think the priests are coming? No way. Knowledge is in libraries. Action of knowledge, Gyan, is in heart. Those who have narrow, small heart are cursed human beings. They have no virtue and no right to live as humans. And they shall shred their karma, which they earned from the God, here wastefully, and they go into the cycle of birth and death. The pride. I. There is no such thing I. I has the right on life. Now I can live, I can die, I can shoot myself, or I can extend myself. At least I can try. When the death comes, there is no I. But while living is always we. When a second person is involved, the entire universe is involved. No person can be individual. Even Aristotle said, man is a social animal. In solo existence, he is nothing but an insane, mad person. Everybody has colored himself. Everybody put a shell on itself. Everybody is hiding behind that shell, that mask. And this mask is become a death. But for the Sikh, it became Bana. The same mask became the sign of the life. Same mask became the strength of the life. We gave 5 head and we got the Bana. No people wants to compromise with it. No! We shall not compromise with it. We earned it. Khalsa Kalpurukh ki Fauj, we are the soldier of the Almighty God. We shall wear the uniform. Satambar. We shall wear top to toe the white to understand peace, harmony, tranquility, integrity, and grace. And we shall walk tall, representing that we are here to serve. Once upon a time, there is a story that somebody was very hungry. He went to the langar. Before he was sitting, the call came, we need volunteers. He got up and they told him what to do. He started working harder and harder and harder. He was very hungry for many days. He was very weak. He fainted. So they woke him up and he said, oh, sorry, I couldn't serve. He said, no, first you please have this milk. So they gave him milk. They gave him some food. They massaged him. They woke him up. And the man in charge said, you were serving, you fainted. When did you eat last? He said, 2 weeks ago. He said, well, you were sitting in the langar. We could have served you. He laughed. He said, the call came from service, that's my dharma. For me, there was no question I am hungry or not. That's my problem. Answering the call was my duty. Call within the essence of the call, when awoken the spirit and the soul of the man, God comes to serve such a man with reverence and with worship. That's the beauty of man. It is not the word of ignorant and arrogant idiots who put the shawl of spirituality over their forehead and call themselves spiritual. It is the real answering of that inner self, which is the very self of God, Atma. And when the relationship of the man and his soul is established, everything opens up. Then the nurturing universal mother and the most powerful almighty heavenly Father ask such a person, what do you want? Then his wants are not the wants, his needs are not his need. Her situation is not her situation. God takes care of it. Because God is very caring, very loving, very real. God is extremely good. Your manifestation of fantasies have no fancy life in it. Is ugly, it will make you ugly. When you limit yourself into your pigeonhole or in your own dungeon, you become your own prisoner. And just to get out of that prison of Maya, we all get up, dress up, and we come to Guru's gate. Enters Guru's court. Bow to the Sarv Shakti, all powers of the power Shabd Guru. We came from the Maya of the man. We need a place where there is no man. There's no mind. There's a manifestation of God's will forever. And that is the beauty of Sri Guru Granth. Read it again and again and again and again. Between you and God and Guru always is the same established, well-established basic knowledge which you once acknowledge. You are free. You are redeemed. Your essence is awakened. Then you are free from time and space. Then that life is different when you live and live free. than a marriage and a divorce and death and life and children and friends and enemies and ugliness and slander and praise doesn't mean a thing. That's the freedom man seeks in the human body. You have the right to become human. Don't waste this life. And don't waste it so fast that even angels in heavens are shaking their head in wonder. Don't ruin this chance. This has come to you by the will of God. You have earned it. Gur kirpate bhakt kamai tae manas dei pai. You have earned it. A durlabh kaya, this is unavailable body. It sheltered your soul for the karma to see the ecstasy of God. Don't waste it into darkness. I can understand your feelings and your emotions, and you are scared and you are insincere and you are disloyal to yourself, not to anybody. And you shadow yourself with fear, and you injure yourself with all manifested stories of your life. But why you are living those lies? Do you understand the beauty, the bounty, and the blessing and the bliss of God's infinity? Is there any chance of the day you can remember that He created you? Is there any time for you to remember that you are the creation of that Creator? To do all that, we enter the gate of the Guru. When we enter the gate of the Guru, we ask for blessings. We ask for grace. We ask it from those who have come here to ask for. It becomes a huge and huge and huge, humongous asking. It pounds at the very gate of heavens and gives a calling to the God. That's why they say, Sadh Sangat Lag Tariye, with the people of those who have discipline. If you all sit together, you will be exonerated and honored in the court of God. There are no heavens after death. You can practice them here. If you can surprise yourself and surmount your personal difficulty and rise above the negativity and look towards the light, you will be as bright as you think you can be. And that's the will of God. It's a path of a sage, a saint, a soldier, a seer. And what is a sage? What is a saint? Whose personal inferiority does not bother him and his divine superiority guides him. There's no difference. The realism of life is the ecstasy of God. You have friends. You have appointments and engagement with friends. You love your relatives and friends. You love your relationship and friends. You want more friends and more relatives. Stupid. What happened to your own soul, which is absolutely sitting there dormant and you had never cared to say hello? Never ever you get up in the morning and say hello. How are you, my soul? Good morning. Are we getting up? Are you keeping me up? Are you waking me up now? Can we go? Can we take a shower together? and carry you in after me. When the cold shower hit me so good, you will say, Vaheguru, inside me. You know the taste of that, Vaheguru? When the cold water hits, you have any idea? Because one touch of that cold water takes away from you all your shield. And you go inside, and it's come, Vaheguru. It's come right from the navel. But it remains for a while, 5, 6 times you say Vaheguru, then idiot becomes idiot again. Then you say Vaheguru, 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 and then you are nobody. But that one Vaheguru, which you and your soul chanted, that becomes God's grace. That's the gift to God. That He loves. That's the offering. That's a unique offering from the human inner core to the very soul, score and infinity of life. It soars like infinite thunderbolt. It's the very heart of the God itself. With that word, God lives. And deals with the entire insanity of all this universe. Now, when you are sitting and eating and chatting with your friend and flirting, do you ever call your soul, are you flirting with me too? No, you ignore it. You ignore it and insult it and ignore it to the extent that even it forgets you. Moment your death comes, soul runs. Leave you to dogs. No God for you. No God for you. All your doings, your dances and your singing and your reading and your knowledge and your lectures and your argument and your everything is false. Your worshippers are false. You never talk to your mind and you never talk to your soul. And you are never proud to wake up your best partner which is inside you. You're willing to get up with your husband. Hi darling, how are you? Good morning. Satnam ji. Have you been stitched your tongue permanently? You can't talk to your soul? There's a one woman, she called me, she said, I'm pregnant. What should I do? I say, every morning talk to this child. Read Japji to him. Say, hello, how are you? You will recognize when the child will be born, it will be a saint. And she was telling me, is it true? The child sits in his own majesty. He has heard Gurbani for so many months inside. He has been talked to by the mother. She so told him Satnam all the time. How can all that go wrong? Constant communication. Establish. That day that child was a little upset for something. All she sees, raised her finger and put it on her mouth. She never even says shh. And he just stopped and started smiling. Because there's a communication between two souls. All you know blinds your physical, dirty, ugly, mucus relationship. That's all you live by. That's all you know. So as the germs of that mucus, you will always be in mucus. You will never be free. You dirty, ugly little germs of mucus. That's all you feel. Whereas this is the path of the exalted self of God and Guru. Touch yourself. Dive in. Find your depth. See if you have any. If you cannot be awakened to experience, get up in the ambrosial hour, in your loneliness. Talk to your soul. Feel it. If all doesn't work, come to the gate of the Guru and surrender for a change. If you have any strength left, if there is any strength left, it's a matter, it is not life that matters, it is the courage you bring to it. This is a path of courage. Surge and courage and urge to the God, make me free and make me be with you and you be with me. And I dwell in that God, God dwell within me. This is Panth Khalsa. This is the purity and piety of the man and God together in a one living being. It is not the domain of titles and virtues, wealth and power. God gave us Rahat to give us the rulership. And then he said, Rahat pyari mohi ko Sikh pyara na hai. He gave us that power. There's no rulership than ruling yourself. The self-rule is the self-freedom. It is the exalted way of life. You will never be weak and poor. You will always be great and pure if you rule yourself. The joy of self-rule, the self-command, and self is so among us, so great. God seeks such people's audience. And that's the beauty of the man. In that exalted beauty, you carry the flag and you move on. The word shall follow you. जे जुग चारे यार जा होर दुसनी हो नमा खंडा में जानिए नाल चले सबको. All the 9 regions of the world will ask you to come, follow you. चंगा नाव रखाएगे जस की रज लगले. Array action, good action towards somebody, that person never forgets you. He calls you again and again. It is only the devilness of the heart and darkness of the person that they cannot urge to merge in the surge of unisonness of God. Man shall never rule us. We shall worship no deity, ever. And angels have nothing to do with us but just look at us for service. We are the inborn, grown sons and daughters of the God. And we shall live that way and die that way. And we shall have no account to sort and clear. It is our time and spirit which matters. We have worshipped the true Guru in our true heart, and our head has bowed to it in that very truth. We have gone beyond the actions and reactions And the smallness and the allness has all been found in us. That is Panth Khalsa. Our memories are very clear. We are clearly aware who we are. In the swamp and the mud and in the instantified of the germ and the sense of death, we live as bright, guiding force. And that's why we look the way we look. That's the why we work the way we work. That's the why we talk. I'm sorry. We are the age of Aquarius. We shall nurture the word. Keep walking. Our guide, Amar Das Guru, set the example. That symbol of nurturing water all the time is the symbol of the age of Aquarius. And because of his service, his reality, his personality, Ram Das Guru earned the throne. And not that royalty of the throne which Ram Das Guru sat. Arjan Guru sat on the hot plate and showed to the world, immortality is the only reality. Death cannot take it. And then Har Gobind put together the royalty, the imperial divinity, and asked the man to walk tall. And little Har Krishna Guru took away the sacred fear of age. Why we do not understand a simple history? Nanak tu, Lena tu, Amar tu vichariya, Tan Tan Ram Das Guru jine sirya tine swarya. The unison seal of Nanak. Say no. Where you have to say no, that is Nanak. Don't listen to these stupid who do not know the definition of Nanak. Don't listen to those who have come here to waste their life and time forever. Don't listen to these shallow, empty, hollow claims. Seal of Nanak is there is no. And wherever we like, we will go with that strength. There is no Nanak. We are the Nanak. We are the Angad. We are the Amar Das. We are the Ram Das. It is that total we, the Panth Khalsa, to whom the Guruship was given to Sri Guru Granth, and we were given to carry it. It is that uninousness which we are. We'll not live on the hollow, shallow promises. We have nothing to do with it. We are the Sarkare Khalsa. We are the Darbare Khalsa. We are as infinite as time and space shall be. We know no surrender. How can we surrender? What is a joke is this? We don't even care. Death exists. It exists because life exists. Our life has a part as a death, and death has a part as a life. We fully understand there's a day and night. Divsurato dai daya khile sagal jagat. We play that play. We understand that play. It is in us. What do we care? We will not put our soul in a bondage. We will not sell our consciousness. We will not betray our intelligence. We are here and hereafter. Nobody invited us to become Sikhs. We never became Sikhs because somebody gave us the knowledge. We are the knowledge. We have understood Ajuni Saibang. We will never come and go. And we are by ourselves, Guru Prasad, because God loved us, Guru loved us, so we became what we are. We are not a zat, individuality, jamaat, a class. We are karamat, we are the miracle. Whatever we are, neither we discuss the qualification, nor anybody has the right to discuss it. We are the only hope in the last 5,000 years God has. We are the only way. And now we are going to give up? Somebody must have gone wacko, crazy, gone off. Somebody stupid. Somebody is still living in the age of the Pisceans. Age is dead, but they are dead. They do not know the change has happened. $960 million you shall be. And you will walk on this planet with grace and dignity. Once mankind will be free of a man. We are born of the double-edged sword. We'll be free in spirit, and ecstasy be our right. And grace is our always there. Narrowness, shallowness, fear, and hollowness of thought has nothing to do. Our path. Past is not our way. Future has to become today to face us. We are the blessed creation of Almighty God. Khalsa Kalpur ki Fauj. We are the army of the Kalpur, the undying, deathless, free of all, that one creator. How can we be subject today? Our object is our object. We in the West, the owner of the Takht Raj Yoga of Guru Ram Das, our imperial divinity, and our sagely saintliness is so well combined by His will. It is only for the calling. It will flow through us. A water pipe is water pipe. When the water comes, it quenches the thirst. Never again ask for, give chance to God to give you. Bin boliyan sab kuch janda. Thou in the infinity of thy creative self, in consciousness and the prevalence of each molecule, knows the need of the one you created in the creativity of your essence. In that essence lives the excellence of the man. Why to become beggar? Who taught you that? Never again put yourself in the clutches and the shackles of inferiority and slavery and become beggars. You are the givers. Forgive yourself. Don't be cruel. Understand yourself once for all and be free. Hang Sang Vaheguru. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. At this time, the children will come forward and do their song.
Look at him. ਸੱਜੀ ਅੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜੀ ਅੰਦਰ ਪੜ ਗਈ
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Thank you for this beautiful day. May we open
that we may be with you all the way, 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 all the way. Yogi Khalsa.
Satnam, we have a story now from Khalsa Young Executives.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So now my name is Simran Kaur and I'm representing the Khalsa Young Executives Association. This is a story about Guru Nanak and Mardana. Guru Nanak and his companion Mardana traveled many thousands of miles spreading the teachings of truth. Mardana had left his wife and children to answer the call of the Guru many months before. One day Mardana told Guru Nanak, "My dear Guru, I feel blessed to be in your presence and to help spread your teachings, but I still miss my family and wonder how they are doing in my absence. You have the power to see the unseen, to reach anywhere with your astral body, to be a million places at once. I would be most grateful if you would help me to go home and see my family." Guru Nanak smiled and said, "I will grant your request, Mardana. Close your eyes and meditate, and when you open them, see where you are." When Mardana did this, he found himself sitting just outside of his town. He had effortlessly covered thousands of miles. He again closed his eyes and meditated and returned to Guru Nanak. He bowed to the Guru and said, "O Guru Nanak, you are God in a physical body. I am so happy and grateful." Guru Nanak told him, "Now Mardana, meditate again and go home to see your family." Mardana hesitated and seemed a little sad. So Guru Nanak asked him what was the matter. "Sir, I am still a family man. After being gone such a long time, I know my family will expect presents, and I have nothing to give them." Guru Nanak just smiled and said, "Open your shawl. I will give you something for your family." Guru Nanak picked up a handful of stones from the ground and told Mardana to tie them up tightly. "Open it only when you reach your home." Mardana saw that the Guru had just picked up ordinary stones and put them into his shawl, and for a moment he was shocked. He didn't understand how he could give these stones to his family as a present after being away from them for such a long time. But he had faith in his Guru, and he knew that there must be some good reason Guru Nanak had given him the stones, and he felt grateful. Mardana then closed his eyes and meditated, and instantly returned home. When his children saw him, they were so excited they ran to him and hugged his legs. Mardana went over to the table and without hesitation untied the knot in his shawl, and out spilled lots of shiny gold coins. Everyone was delighted, but Mardana was in bliss. All he could say was "Dhan Nirankar" over and over again, which means God is great, God is great. Mardana told his family the story of the stones and the gold coins and explained to his family, "Always chant Sat Nam Waheguru. Truth is God's name, incredible his wisdom, and all your wishes shall be fulfilled. Always have perfect faith that the Guru will bless you and answer your prayers. It is my personal experience that faith creates miracles." Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Many speak of courage, speaking cannot give it. It's in the face of death that we must live it. When things are down and darkest, that's when we stand tallest. Till the last star falls, we won't give an inch at all. Stand as the Khalsa, strong as steel, steady stone. Give our lives to God and Guru, mind and soul, breath and bone. Guru Arjan gave his life to stand for what was right. He was burned and tortured 5 long days and nights. He could have stopped it any time just by giving in. Strength a solid wall, now giving in at all. Sons of the Khalsa, remember those who died, stood their ground until the last breath, so we who live now might live free lives. A princess is not royal by her birth or blood inside, but if her family's home is a non-person, she'll walk with such a grace and strength, the world will bow in awe. Till the coffins fall, won't give an inch at all. Daughters of the Khalsa,
Agram Kali Mahalla Ijananda Ik Oankar Satguru Parasad Anand Pya Meri Maaye Satguru mein paaya Satgur da paaya Sehj seti man vajya Rag Ratan Parvar Pariya Shabd Tingavo Hari Kera Manjani Vasaya Kahe Nanak Nando Satguru mein paaya He man mere aaj sudaro
ਤੁਮਰੀ ਜਾਣੀ ਨਾਨਕ ਦਾਸ ਸਰਬਾਣੀ। Ardas, prayer, Ekunkar, Sri Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. There is one God, all victory is His. May His sword be our protection. This is the ballad of the supreme sword of the divine, composed by the 10th master. After first worshipping the Adi Shakti, the primal power, meditate on Guru Nanak, Guru Angad, then Guru Amardas and Ramdas. May they grant us their protection. Worship Guru Arjan, then Guru Hargobind and Sri Harai. Meditate on Sri Harkrishan, upon seeing whom all suffering shall depart. Meditate on Guru Teg Bahadur, and the 9 treasures shall come running to you. Great, great is your Gobind Singh, the great king, protector, faith, master of unity. May protect us everywhere. The light of the 10 Gurus, the living Guru, the word of God, the truth, the truths. Sri Guru Granth Sahib, by meditating on its words, all sufferings vanish. Meditate, O pure ones, and utter Waheguru. The 4 sons of the 10th master, the 5 beloved ones, the 40 liberated ones, the 4 holy thrones, all the dwelling places of the Guru. Meditate, O pure ones, and utter Waheguru. Those who are true to the Guru, who meditated on the Nam, who shared their earnings, who sacrificed for righteousness, and who saw the faults of others, yet overlooked them. Think of their deeds, O pure ones, and utter Waheguru. Those who were broken by the will, cut up limb by limb, who gave their scalps but not their hair, and those ladies who sacrificed for truth, who gave their dear children and suffered through hunger and pain at the hands of the enemy, but never gave up their faith and determination to live according to the Sikh Dharma with all their hair to the last breath. Meditate, O pure ones, and utter Waheguru. Now let the whole Khalsa offer its prayer. Let the first prayer of the Khalsa be Waheguru, Waheguru, Waheguru. As we think of God's name, so may we be blessed. May God's grace and protection extend to all bodies of the Khalsa, wherever we may be. May the Lord's glory be fulfilled and His will prevail. May we receive victory from the sword of righteousness and the chariot of our brotherhood. May the holy sword of God assist us. May the pure ones prevail. May the realm of justice come. May we unite in love. May we be humble, but let our wisdom be exalted in the keeping of the Lord. O pure one, say that God is great. Waheguru. Bless us to ever live in the righteousness of true disciples. Give us the life of the living principle of the Guru's discipline. Grant us the gift of reading and understanding the Guru's divine word. Grant us faith, insight, trust in Thee, the blessing of blessings, the name, the sight, and dip in the nectar tank of the Sri Harmandir Sahib, the golden temple. May our choirs, banners, and mansions abide for and ever and ever. May our flags, seats of religious authority, forts, houses, ashrams, and gawaras prevail through all times. Then call on God, O pure ones, and utter Waheguru. Save us, O Lord, from the 5 obstacles of lust, anger, greed, pride, and attachment, and keep us always attached to Thy lotus feet. O honor the honorless, home of the homeless, strength of the weak, hope of the hopeless. O true Guru, shelter of the poor, we stand before Thee and offer our prayer. Please bless this earth with peace. Please bless this earth with peace. Bless this earth with peace. May the Guru guide and hear Surjit Kaur, Johal S. Khalsa, bless Veer Kaur Khalsa on her 38th birthday. Please heal Gurmer Kaur of Espanola and Joyce Rivera, Sri Sardani Sahiba, blessings for Bibi Inderjeet Kaur Khalsa. Bless Waheguru Kaur on her 120th day and pregnancy this July 27th. Bless Gurjot Kaur on her birthday tomorrow. Please bless Gurdarshan Singh in the day of the 25th birth of the 25th of July. May he live his destiny. Bless and protect children guides traveling to India. Bless the 45th wedding anniversary of Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Wolf. Please remember the 18th anniversary of the passing of Guru Meher Singh from the earth. May he always be remembered for his selfless service to the Sangha, God and Guru. Please chant a call. Now we'll chant a call for Stroh Snyder, who passed away this last week. Give us light and understanding, so that we may know what pleases thee. Grant to our guide, the city Singsob, who is thy humble servant, the power to teach us the truth and lead us to thy power of unity and purity. O true King, O loved Father, by thy grace we have sung thy sweet hymns, heard thy life-giving word, and have spoken thy manifold blessings. May these things find a loving place in our hearts and serve to draw our souls towards thee. Bless this Guru Prasad, which has been placed before thee. May its sweetness remind us of the sweetness of thy name. Forgive us our sins, help us that we may keep ourselves pure. Let us be in the company of men and women of love, that we may remember thy name in their presence. Through Nanak may thy name forever increase, and the Spirit be exalted. May all people prosper by thy grace. Nanak Nam Chedikala Teri Bani Savatva. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Agya Pena Kaliki Tabachiro Panta Tabachana Hukame Guru Manyo Granta Guru Granta Ji Manyo Rajaram Hide Jovan Pavan Boje Dosham Mele Raj Kre Ka Khalsa Aki Rahe Na Koe Walawe Sab Milenge Bache Shanjoy Raj Kre Ka Khalsa Ki Rahe Na Koe Walawe Sab Milenge Bache Shanjoy Bole So Nihal Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Vahe Guru Guru Ram Das Guru Danasiri Mehla Panjavan Garduja Chaupade एक ओंकार सतगुरु प्रसाद चौद चाहे से करे फराल काम न आवे से जंजाल संग न चाले थिन स्योहित जो बेराई से सीत चौद चाहे से करे फराल काम न आवे से जंजाल संगन चाले थिन सियोहित जो बेराई से सीत ऐसे बरमा भूले संसारा जन्म पदार्थ खोई रवारा रहाओ सच धर्म नाही पावे दीटा जूत दो सियो रचियो मीता दात प्यारे विसरिया दथारा जाने नाही मरना विचारा वसत पराई को उठ रोवे कर्म धर्म
sagalai kove. Hukaman buje avna jane. Papa kareta pachotane. Jo tu the bave so parvan. Tere bane no kurban. Nanak gariba band jan tera. Rakale saib prabha mera. Nanak garib banda jan tera. Rakale saib prabha mera. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
Dhanasari, 5th Guru, Chaupadas. There is but one God, by the true Guru's grace he is obtained. Thou amassest the straw which thou hast to leave off, which avail man not in those entanglements he is involved. Thou amassest the straw which thou hast to leave off, which avail man not in those entanglements is he involved. He contracts love with those which go not with him. They who are his enemies, them he deems his friends. In such misgiving the world is gone astray. The ignorant man loses the invaluable commodity of human life. Pause. He does not like even to countenance truth and chastity. Deeming falsehood and deception sweet, he is attached with them. He loves gifts and forgets the giver. The wretched creature thinks not of death. He weeps for others' commodity. He forfeits the benefit of all his religious deeds. He understands not the Lord's will and continues coming and going. He commits sins and then regrets. Whatever pleases thee, O Lord, that alone is acceptable. To thy will I am a sacrifice. Poor Nanak is a slave and a serf of thine, so save me thou, O my Lord Master. Poor Nanak is a slave and a serf of thine, so save me thou, O my Lord Master. Vaheguru ji ka khalsa, Vaheguru ji ki fateh.
Samba sikana ko okamare. Samba sikana ko okamare. Guru maniyo granta. Guru maniyo granta. Satnarayan Vaheguru, Hari Narayan Satnam. 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 Bani Guru, Guru hai Bani, Vich Bani.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Langar will now be served outside. Next week is a wedding of Sarab Singh and Sat Pavankar, so please come. The Akhand Path this week will be held up here in the Gurdwara. We're going back to the regular schedule. So please be informed if you have a regular spot, and if for some reason you can't make it, please let Hari Dharamkar know.